concept of quadratic equation, there is no way for you to solve this problem and get it correct. Okay, because after expanding these two brackets, we are going to have a quadratic equation because this is a variable and this is also a variable. So when you multiply two variables in the first place, you are going to get a power of 2, right? And that is a quadratic equation actually. So if we want to solve this particular equation, our first step is for us to expand this bracket. We are going to use each term of this particular bracket to multiply each term here. So we use this other term again and multiply throughout. So we have that x minus 2 multiplied by x minus 3 is equals to 12, right? So you use x to multiply x and minus 3. You also use minus 2 to multiply x and minus 3. So for you not to confuse, just take x, the x term, and multiply it throughout. That is x minus 3, right? You also come and use the negative 2. That is the second term, which is minus 2. You also multiply it by x minus 3, okay? All this is equated to 12, right? So x times x will give us x squared minus x times 3 will give us 3x. So here we have a negative sign again. This is 2 times x to get 2x. But minus times minus will give us a plus. Then you multiply the numbers 2 times 3 to get what? 6. All this is equated to 12, right? So now we can now simplify the middle terms. So we have that x squared minus 3x minus 2x. Just keep the x, just like when you have minus 3 minus 2. And minus 3 minus 2 is minus 5. So this is minus 5x. But mind you, we have plus 6. Everything is equated to 12, right? Seeing a constant term here, this is also a constant. You bring them together. So this becomes x squared minus 5x plus 6. But this is a positive constant. When it comes over, it becomes minus 12. Then at the end, there is nothing remaining on the side. So you write your 0, okay? So we continue the simplification of the constant terms. So we have that x squared minus 5x plus 6 minus 12. You know the bigger number is 12, so it carries the sign. So it's going to be minus 6. All this is equals to 0. So we have got a quadratic equation. Because the highest power of x here is 2. It has a middle term, it has a constant, and it is equated to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. And we have ways of solving quadratic equations. One of the ways to solve quadratic equation is by factorization method, right? You can also use completing the square method to solve quadratic equation. Or you can also use the quadratic formula method to solve it, right? But the simplest way is for you to use the factorization method. That is, you are going to find the factors of this particular equation. What do we mean by this? This is the middle term. The middle term has minus 5, right? And the constant term is minus 6. The coefficient of x squared, the number in front of x squared is a coefficient. So it is actually 1, okay? So 1 multiplied by minus 6 is minus 6. That is the product. So let us find two numbers, which when we add them, we get minus 5. And at the same time, when we multiply those numbers, we get minus 6. Those numbers are the factors of this equation, right? So when you get those numbers, you can slot them in this particular equation. So what are the two numbers that we add to get minus 5? And when we multiply them, we get minus 6. Those numbers are minus 6 and plus 1. Because minus 6 plus 1 will give us, minus 6 plus 1 will give us minus 5. So if I multiply them now, minus 6 times 1, we are going to get what? Minus 6. So we have got the factors. That is minus 6 and what? Plus 1. So you open two brackets, okay, and equate it to 0. So the terms, the variable is x. You write it here. Here also the variable is x. So what are the factors? We said minus 6. So you put your minus 6 here. And the other factor is what? 1. That is plus 1. Okay. So this is x minus 6. This is x plus 1 equals to 0. So whenever you have two brackets multiplied by each other and equated to 0, either one of them is equals to 0 or the other is equals to 0. So we have that our x minus 6 is equals to 0, or x plus 1 is also equals to 0. So our x is equals to, simplifying minus 6, you take it to the right, it becomes plus 6. Or this is x is equals to plus 1. When you take it over, it becomes minus 1. So the values of x are 6 or minus 1. So this answers this particular